Let's create a function for run. So this run will call for the CSV file. So that is taken inside a variable points equals generate from text, generate from txt, that is text, as data.csv. And this will be taken in the delimiter format. So it will take delimiter, and this delimiter will be taken as comma, so which means that whatever the values are present between the commas, that is CSV, that is comma separated values, should be taken over here inside points. So that will be taken as an array. Let's create the learning rate as 0.0001. Now after this, the next important thing is to create the initial y-intercept and the slope. So for that, I'll say initial underscore b equals 0. This is my initial y-intercept, and the slope value will be taken as initial underscore m, which is equal to 0. After this, the number of iterations should be calculated as number of iterations, which equals 1000. Later, we need to do a various type of gradient status printing. So that will be done as print starting gradient descent with the value at b equals and JSON value starting with 0, and then comes m, which is equal to 1, and then later comes the value of the error as error equals another value which is represented as 2. Then we'll take the format value initiative over here, that is dot format. The initial b should be taken over here, that is initial b comma initial m, with the value representation as compute error for given line points, that is taken over there. And after that comes the next scenario, which is to take the parameter of points. So my points will be taken here as points initial b, and then comes initial m, and after that comes the value related to points as points. So once this section is being done, we will print a value inside the definition, that print running. So this will run the gradient descent value. So this is running. And after that, the next scenario which comes into picture is b comma m equals gradient descent runner with a value of points initial b, and the later value is taken as initial m. And after that comes is the learning rate, and then comes the number of iterations. Once this is being calculated, the next important thing which is to be done is print after 0 iterations b equals 1 and m equals, we'll separate it over here, that is m equals a value which is a JSON value of 2, and then comes the next value which is the error, which is equal to a value represented as 3. Now after this, we need to format some specific value, so we'll do it as format number of iterations, and then comes a value that is b comma m comma compute error for given line. So this should be taken over here. So my JSON value will be finished like this. Thing will be computed here, this part. So compute error. So this one is compute error for line given points, and then comes the value of points as b comma m comma points, and this will be calculated now respectively. So this part has been done. After that, we need to set if name equals main values, and then comes the value which is run. Then we need to go as per the value definition, so we need to calculate the things over there. So for that, now we will run our code. So for that, let's go to the command prompt. So this is the command prompt, and now we need to run our code of the gradient descent example. So that will be given over here as Python. It will be taken as Python gradient descent example.py. So it sees that starting gradient descent with the iteration of b equals 0, m equals 0 and error computed with this value, and running after 1000 iterations like the 1000 values presented in the CSV. We are getting the value of b equals 0.088 and m equals 1.477 and error being computed in this format. So this is how a gradient descent example is done when we call for a particular value. The next module is about data analysis and clustering of a data, which is like a final module of data visualization and data science with Python.